Well, Paul came up with a good idea, and after he did the second one, everyone said, "Oh, you got to make a third one or a fourth one." And I said, "No, I really don't know where I can take this character. I think, I'm finished." And then
I said, "No, I really don't know where I can take this character. I think I'm finished." And then 14 years later, he came up with an idea for a third one. During the filming of Crocodile Dundee, there was one unforgettable scene involving Linda Kozlowski that had the entire crew on edge. What viewers saw on screen was more real than anyone expected. While the film's quirky humor and adventurous spirit captivated audiences worldwide, behind the scenes, things took a much more intense turn during this moment. How did one scene blur the line between acting and reality, leaving even Linda Kozlowski herself shaken? Linda Kozlowski's journey to Hollywood stardom began most unexpectedly. In the mid-1980s, she was just another struggling actress trying to make it in a competitive industry. Money was tight, roles were even tighter, and Kozlowski had only a couple of minor credits to her name. Little did she know that an audition for a quirky, low-budget film about an Australian crocodile hunter would forever change her life. At the time, the project wasn't exactly promising. It was fronted by an unknown Australian actor named Paul Hogan, whose name caused more confusion than excitement in Hollywood circles. But when Kozlowski landed the role, the trajectory of her career shifted overnight. The film was Crocodile Dundee, a modest comedy with a budget of around $7 million. It seemed like a fun, low-stakes opportunity, just another role for an actress on the rise. But what nobody, including Kozlowski, could have anticipated was how this little movie would explode onto the global stage. Released in 1986, Crocodile Dundee became a phenomenon, raking in a staggering $328 million at the box office worldwide. To say the movie exceeded expectations would be an understatement. It turned Paul Hogan into a household name and solidified Kozlowski's place in pop culture. For a film that had been partly funded by wealthy cricket players and rock stars like frontman Michael Hutchence, its success was nothing short of miraculous. At the center of all this was Linda Kozlowski, who played Sue Charlton, a street-smart New York City journalist who gets more than she bargained for when she ventures into the untamed Australian outback to meet the legendary Mick Crocodile Dundee. Kozlowski's portrayal of Sue was endearing. She brought humor, intelligence, and charm to the character, making her not just a damsel in distress, but a capable, relatable figure in her own right. Yet, while Kozlowski's performance helped make the movie unforgettable, the production itself wasn't as glamorous as you might think. Filming Crocodile Dundee was far from a walk in the park. In fact, it was more like surviving in the wild, literally. Shooting on location in the remote Australian outback meant dealing with all sorts of challenges that no one, especially Kozlowski, had fully anticipated. Kozlowski wasn't just playing a New Yorker out of her element, she was living it. The actress found herself in a landscape that was as dangerous as it was beautiful. Her character's encounters with the wilderness weren't far from reality. In one memorable scene, Sue is menaced by a crocodile, only to be rescued by Mick Dundee. While that scene was undoubtedly crafted for the audience's amusement, Kozlowski's real-life surroundings weren't much safer. She described how her hut during the shoot was situated right on the edge of a billabong, a crocodile-infested swamp. Now that they're protected, the crocs have all gotten huge and fat and cocky, she shared. Crocodiles are really bold, and they do come up on land. Late-night walks to the mess hall became nerve-wracking experiences, with cast and crew constantly on high alert for lurking crocodiles. And it wasn't just the crocs. The outback is notorious for its dangerous wildlife, from snakes to spiders to all sorts of creepy crawlies. Kozlowski admitted that the bugs, snakes, and the general unpredictability of the outback could have easily made the shoot unbearable, but despite it all, she proved to be a real trooper. According to Paul Hogan, who played Mick Dundee and later became Kozlowski's off-screen partner, the actress never complained or let the harsh conditions get to her. "We thought the bugs and the snakes and the danger of crocodiles would freak her right out," Hogan said. "I mean, there have been 3 or 4 deaths up there from crocodiles since Christmas, and there were crocodiles in the water where we shot the movie. But she never complained. She was professional." Of course, the production team wasn't reckless. Safety measures were in place. Hogan mentioned that they had a guy with a loaded magnum between Kozlowski and the water during filming. So while the scene where Sue narrowly escapes the jaws of a crocodile was movie magic, the very real threat of these creatures constantly hung in the air. And yet, through it all, Kozlowski remained composed, handling each challenge with the same grace and professionalism that she brought to her role. The experience of shooting Crocodile Dundee in such an untamed environment mirrored the journey of her character. Just like Sue, who had to adjust to life in the wild, Kozlowski had to adapt to the unique demands of filming in the Australian wilderness. Despite the grueling conditions, Kozlowski's performance in Crocodile Dundee was a massive success, and her chemistry with Paul Hogan was undeniable. This connection not only lit up the screen, but also sparked rumors of an off-screen romance. As the film became a box office sensation, Kozlowski found herself catapulted into fame alongside Hogan. The movie's success opened doors for both of them, but it also set Kozlowski on a path she hadn't fully anticipated. Yet, despite the meteoric rise that Crocodile Dundee brought her, Kozlowski's career didn't follow the typical Hollywood trajectory. Instead of riding the wave of fame into a long list of blockbuster movies, she took a step back. Her last on-screen appearance was in 2001, reprising her role as Sue Charlton for Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. After that, she essentially vanished from the Hollywood scene. So, what happened to Linda Kozlowski? How did an actress who starred in one of the most successful films of the 1980s seemingly disappear from the industry? The answer lies not only in her career, but also in her personal life, which became intertwined with her Crocodile Dundee co-star Paul Hogan. What started as an on-screen romance blossomed into something much deeper, leading to one of the most talked-about relationships of its time. Hogan, who had been married for nearly 30 years and had 5 children, found himself in the spotlight for reasons beyond his acting career. The public was fascinated by the love affair between him and Kozlowski, especially because Hogan was almost 20 years her senior. Despite the gossip and media frenzy surrounding them, Hogan and Kozlowski's relationship continued to flourish. In 1990, Hogan, then 51, and Kozlowski, 33, made it official. The two were married in a lavish ceremony in Hogan's hometown of Sydney, Australia. It was a whirlwind romance that captivated the public, and their wedding was a high-profile event that attracted significant media attention. In fact, reporters were banned from attending the ceremony due to the intense media interest in the couple. According to Hogan, the wedding was a more private affair, attended by about 100 close friends and family members. But that didn't stop the world from buzzing about the union between two of Hollywood's biggest stars at the time. As if their wedding wasn't already glamorous enough, Hogan reportedly gifted Kozlowski a $2 million mansion as a wedding present, a stunning home that he had custom-built just for her. It was the perfect start to their life together, and for a while the pair seemed to be living a real-life fairy tale. In many ways, Hogan and Kozlowski were the Brangelina of their day. Wherever they went, cameras followed. Especially in Australia, Hogan's home country, the media couldn't get enough of their relationship. Every move they made was chronicled by tabloids, from steamy transatlantic flights to their daily lives together. But being in the public eye wasn't always easy, especially for Kozlowski. In a 2001 interview, she reflected on how difficult it was to navigate the attention, especially since Hogan had been married when they first started seeing each other. "When I first fell in love with Paul, there was a big outcry because he was married and had 5 kids. It was hard because the classy, elegant thing to do is to not say anything," Kozlowski recalled. She chose to stay silent, letting the media create their own version of the story. But it was clear that the scrutiny took its toll on her. Professionally, the couple's relationship was just as prominent. After the massive success of Crocodile Dundee, a sequel was inevitable. In 1988, Crocodile Dundee II hit theaters, with Hogan and Kozlowski reprising their roles as Mick and Sue. While the sequel didn't reach the same box office heights as the original, it was still a success, earning $239 million worldwide. The film provided even more publicity for their relationship, with the couple's off-screen romance fueling public interest in the movie. But as often happens in Hollywood, the novelty began to wear off. Critics weren't as impressed with Crocodile Dundee 2 as they were with the original. While the first film had the advantage of novelty, the sequel didn't pack the same punch. Janet Maslin of the New York Times even remarked that the sequel felt stale, as the charm of the original movie started to fade. The two followed up Crocodile Dundee 2 with another movie, Almost an Angel, in 1990. This time, there were no crocodiles involved. But Hogan once again took on the lead role, playing a thief who believes he's become an angel after a near-death experience. Kozlowski starred alongside him, but the movie was a box office disaster. It only brought in $6.9 million worldwide, a far cry from the enormous success of Crocodile Dundee. By 2001, the pair gave it one more shot with Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. But this third installment of the franchise didn't fare well either. Earning just $39.4 million worldwide, the film was a disappointment, and it became clear that the Crocodile Dundee franchise had run out of steam. It was also the last time Kozlowski appeared on screen. After that, she made the decision to step away from acting altogether. Kozlowski's exit from Hollywood wasn't sudden, but it was definitive. In the years following her departure from the industry, she opened up about the reasons behind her decision. In an interview with the Los Angeles Times, she explained how Crocodile Dundee had been both a blessing and a curse. While the film had made her a star, it also led to her being typecast. She found herself being offered the same kinds of roles, playing the girlfriend of a funny man. After Crocodile Dundee, I turned down lots of stuff, most of it where I'd play the girlfriend of some funny man, Kozlowski said. Hollywood wasn't offering Linda Kozlowski the kind of roles she wanted, and rather than take on projects that didn't inspire her, Kozlowski chose to focus on her personal life, particularly raising her son Chance, whom she had with Paul Hogan. For a time, Kozlowski found contentment in her role as a mother and wife, relishing the opportunity to focus on her family. However, that sense of happiness didn't last forever. By the early 2010s, it was becoming clear that Hogan and Kozlowski marriage was reaching its end. In 2013, after 23 years together, the couple announced their separation. Kozlowski, then 55, filed for divorce from Hogan, who was 74 at the time. While many Hollywood splits are marred by public drama and bitter feuds, theirs seemed unusually peaceful. In interviews following the announcement, both Kozlowski and Hogan expressed that the separation was amicable and that there were no hard feelings between them. In an interview with New Idea, an Australian magazine, Kozlowski explained that their split was a natural part of life. "Honestly, we just naturally grew apart," she said. "One of our problems was we really had nothing in common, and over time that happens to a lot of people." Despite their separation, there was no animosity between the two. Hogan echoed Kozlowski's sentiments, explaining that the marriage simply wore out after so many years. In an interview with the Daily Telegraph, Hogan looked back on their relationship fondly. "We were opposites, and we were attracted to each other for a long time," he said. He even joked about how different they were in terms of food, music, and even clothes, adding, "It worked anyway." Even after the divorce was finalized in 2014, Kozlowski and Hogan remained on good terms. Kozlowski described their relationship as completely friendly, adding that they still talked on the phone and that she would occasionally visit him for coffee. However, their relationship didn't just fade away into the past quietly. In 2017, the Australian TV miniseries Hoagies aired, dramatizing Paul Hogan's life story, including his rise to fame and his relationship with Kozlowski. The biopic chronicled his journey from a working-class rigger on the Sydney Harbour Bridge to becoming an international movie star. Hogan was portrayed by actor Josh Lawson, while Kozlowski was played by Laura Gordon. The miniseries received mixed reviews, with some praising it for its nostalgic charm and others criticizing it for its lack of authenticity. As Hogan continued to star in films, though with decreasing success, such as 2004's Strange Bedfellows and 2009's Charlie in Boots, Kozlowski's focus remained firmly on her personal life. She was content with her decision to step away from acting, and in the years following her divorce from Hogan, she found new joy in travel. During one of her trips to Morocco, Kozlowski met Moulay Hafid Baba, a local tour guide. The connection between the two was instantaneous. In an interview with Luxbet, Kozlowski spoke fondly of the moment they met, describing it as magic. "We knew in a flash that we had known each other for 1,000 years, she said. Their relationship blossomed, and by 2017, rumors began swirling that Kozlowski and Baba had married. According to reports from Australia's Globe, via news.com.au, Hogan was allegedly stunned by the news of Kozlowski's new relationship. An anonymous source even suggested that Hogan wants Linda to be happy, but probably wishes she was with him. However, Hogan was quick to dismiss any reports of lingering heartache. His manager, Douglas Urbanski, told the Daily Mail that Hogan was genuinely delighted at Linda's news and wished her nothing but happiness in her new relationship. Following her marriage to Baba, Kozlowski made the bold decision to leave her life in the U.S. behind. In 2018, she sold her Los Angeles home and moved to Morocco full-time. While the move marked a significant chapter in Kozlowski's life, her ex-husband remained a part of her thoughts. According to New Idea, Kozlowski still worried about Hogan's well-being, particularly when it came to his smoking habit. Sources close to Kozlowski revealed that she often encouraged him to get regular health checkups, expressing concern for his longevity. Paul had an incredible life, and she can't imagine the world without him in it, one insider shared. For Hogan, who turned 80 in 2019, the distance between him and Kozlowski was noticeable. Reports indicated that he felt lonely, especially after Kozlowski moved to Morocco. While he may have put on a brave face for the public, the idea of his ex-wife starting a life in a different country left him feeling isolated. Alongside her new partner, Moulay Hafid Baba, Kozlowski co-founded Dream My Destiny, a Marrakesh-based tour business that offers personalized, luxurious travel experiences. In an interview with Honest Mom, Kozlowski spoke about her passion for this new chapter in her life. "My ambitions now are to continue to work hard with my tour company well underway and to enjoy the wonderful people and experiences that cross my path as a consequence of this endeavor." She also mentioned her desire to expand into a Moroccan-inspired clothing line in the future, with dreams of living on an olive farm and operating a donkey sanctuary just outside Marrakesh. Kozlowski has clearly embraced this new way of life. Her tour company has been a perfect fit for her and Baba, combining Kozlowski's style and her understanding of what travelers want with Baba's deep knowledge of Morocco. She described their business to the Daily Mail, saying, "My partner Baba really knows Morocco like the back of his hand, and combine that with my sense of what's happening now. What's hip? What's trendy? What do people want? What do the ladies want? I have a sense for that, being an actress and traveler." Kozlowski's love for her new life in Morocco shines through in everything she says about it. In an interview with Lux Beat, she explained how her adventurous spirit wasn't always compatible with her acting career. "One thing I always hated about acting was that it got in the way of having an adventurous life. You had to stick around Los Angeles and wait for work. Now I'm rejoicing in my freedom, and Morocco has certainly given her that." From camping in the Sahara with Baba to enjoying luxury and the beauty of nature, Kozlowski seems to have found her perfect balance between excitement and peace. As for returning to acting, Kozlowski has made it clear that she's more than content with her current path. "I don't miss acting because my life is so full now," she said. For Kozlowski, reality has become far more fulfilling than any Hollywood role could ever be. Financially, Kozlowski is also in a comfortable position. Following her divorce from Paul Hogan, she received a significant settlement of $5.775 million, as well as the option to buy their Venice, California home at the original purchase price. She invested her settlement wisely, purchasing beachfront properties in Venice, an area that has seen a dramatic rise in real estate value. As a result, her fortune has only grown, and she's now estimated to be worth $10 million. Kozlowski's story is one of transformation, independence, and adventure. She's no longer the actress from Crocodile Dundee, but a successful businesswoman living her dream in Morocco. Thank you for reading. If you enjoyed learning about Linda Kozlowski's incredible life journey, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.